Okay, so this is going to be our story of how we met. Okay, but this one's going to be pretty interesting because as we're talking about it, we're also
so excited.
Going to be building this gingerbread castle. Okay. Of course, it should be Super Mario. You know, I love video games. Super Mario is what got me started with video games since I was about, I would say like 4 or 5 years old.
We've never done this before, so.
Never built one before.
Kind of nervous. I just read it says allow 3 to 4 hours for drying, so it might fall apart during the video.
Okay, it might fall apart. All right.
So
at least we know as well.
We opened up the box just to kind of lay everything out. It looks pretty cute.
Show them what.
We got a little mushroom cookie,
toad, and then we have like the castle, the walls for the castle. We have 2 pieces that kind of look like this, and then we have 2 pieces like this. It will be like I'm assuming the sides. Yeah. I don't want to break it.
And we got these cute little, I guess, decorations.
Mario one.
A bunch of little stars.
What is this? Oh, the coins.
Oh, yeah.
A bunch of coins.
Little gumdrops. So we got everything.
What is that?
The fondant.
The fondant? Okay, so this is going to be
our glue.
Our glue, which is our royal icing. It says, I just read it over here. It says that we need to massage it for 1 to 2 minutes.
So I guess as we talk,
okay,
we can massage.
As we talk, we'll massage. So go ahead, you can get us started.
Okay, well I need that, so that needs to be massaged. But okay, so I guess from the very, very beginning, it's December now, so I guess I should say exactly 10 years ago. Even way before that. So in high school, we went to the same high school. I'm a year younger than him. So when I was a freshman in 9th grade, he was in 10th grade. I don't know how in the world, because I'm not that great at math, but I was able to skip algebra.
So from 8th to high school, you either in high school 9th grade year, you start with algebra 1 or geometry. So you can skip algebra 1 and go to geometry if you did well in 8th grade. Probably the SBAC or back then it was called like the Cat 9 or something like that. It was a state test.
My point is, I guess I skipped algebra somehow.
Thank God, I mean.
And I ended up in geometry as a 9th grader. And he had geometry as a 10th grader, but he wasn't in my class. So school started, it was in for maybe like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So it was pretty early on in the year. And then he was in band before. So somehow like he had to change his schedule or whatever. And he ended up being in my geometry class. So we're in the same geometry class. To be honest, I never noticed him. I never talked to him. Nothing, absolutely at all. And so the whole year went on. I remember actually we had to do a project.
No. I'm going to stop you there. Before the project.
Okay.
She said she didn't remember me. I noticed her.
Oh, yeah.
Before that project. She was wearing some Jordans. And that caught my eye. I'm like, all right, she's a pretty cool girl then. But yeah, that caught my eye. It was some blue and white Jordans that she probably still has somewhere in this room. But yeah, that's what caught my attention, sir. So
okay,
yeah,
so continue. I guess he saw me walking in one day with wearing my Jordans, and I guess that caught his attention.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm lucky I had those. And then, so he noticed me since then. I guess from then on, you had been eyeing me, no?
Yeah.
So he had, I wouldn't say a crush because he didn't even know me, but he was kind of, okay, this girl's cool, or whatever. Again, still never noticed him or anything.
But I'm pretty shy. I was a pretty shy person. So
quiet and all of that.
Very quiet. All throughout school, my school years, like I've been the quiet kid. Like even teachers complain about me being too quiet. because I wouldn't participate, like raise my hand and stuff. Like I was a very smart kid and answer all the questions like on paper, but when it came time to like raising your hand and participate, that wasn't me.
But now I can't shut him up. I'm just kidding.
What?
I'm just
She's a
kidding.
talkative one.
Anyway, so we had to do the project, and then I remember he had a partner, and they presented. It was like a little, I don't know, like we had to do a figure, a 3-dimensional figure, and he did like a whole shape out of paper, like kind of like origami. And then I remember I was like, oh, that's so cool. So as soon as he got back from his presentation, he went back to his seat, and I looked at him and his partner, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like, who did that? Or something like that. I forgot exactly what I asked. He was so quiet. All he did was turn around, and he just lifted up his finger like me.
I did all of that. He
didn't even say a word, nothing. He just lifted up his finger. So I was kind of like, okay, whatever, like rude. But anyway, so that was that. Again, never talked to him ever again. Never saw him ever again. That was in 9th grade. So 10th grade. So the whole school year went on. Nothing ever happened. 10th grade. So next school year, I was in 10th grade. And about 6 months, nothing happened. I never saw him again. I didn't have him in any other class. That was that. Like I said, didn't even cross my mind. I guess I used to play softball when I was from 9th to 11th grade. And he used to play soccer. So we used to practice after school every day on the same field. So we had different areas, but for softball they made us run the whole field. So we would have to go by where he was practicing soccer. Okay, let's start building, I guess.
No, we should start building this.
Where he would practice soccer, and he said, I guess, that he would watch me as I was running around the field, which is kind of weird because
it's kind of like a stalker.
Yeah, that's so weird. And he would even get nervous when I would go past, like, close to him or whatever. Weird.
I only got nervous because if the coach saw us, staring at the girls, we get punished. So that's why I was nervous.
Yeah, that's why.
That's why.
Anyway, so he didn't even try talking to me or anything at all until exactly 10 years ago in December. We had to readjust the camera because you guys are not able to see our whole little castle thing. So anyway, back to the story. Go ahead. So back then there was no such thing as Facebook. It was a different website called MySpace, but it was pretty much the same thing where you can add friends and comment on pictures and all of that. But back then there was like a favorite list, so you can pick your favorite people and put them on your main profile so anybody can see them. So I remember he had my cousin in his class, and he had her as a friend apparently, and then he decided, oh, I'm gonna go find this girl. I don't even know if he knew my name. He was like, oh, I'm gonna go find her, and he added me. He found me on her top people and he added me. Oh my God, this is so hard. So he added me, but I still added him because I did recognize him in the picture. So I saw the face in the picture, and I was like, okay, yeah, I remember I had him in geometry. So I still approved him.
Thank God she did. And
I'm not the type to be messaging or anything, but I guess as soon as I approved him, he messaged me, and he was like, hey, I added you because I thought you were cute. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. That's all I said. And then he tried to act dumb, and he was like, so, don't you play softball? Or something like that, right?
Even though I already knew.
He knew exactly he knew what position I played. He knew what days I practiced. He knew everything.
Calm down.
But he's over here trying to act dumb. Hey, don't you play softball? So yeah, I told him, and I was just kind of like, oh yeah, I do. And we just started talking about that. And then, but he wouldn't get on very often. I think like we probably messaged like 3-4 messages back and forth. And then he was like, so, can I get your number? Because I don't really go on this thing or something like that. And I was like, sure, I guess. And I can't believe I actually gave him my number just that easy. So weird. But I promise I never do that. But I don't know why I just did that to him. So I gave him my number, and then I think he said, okay, I'm just going to text you, and I'm just going to put my name. Like, I'm going to send my name. So I remember I was at the mall with my cousins. It was about to be New Year's Eve. So we're buying an outfit for New Year's Eve. Like, we were going to do anything. We're just going to sit in the living room. But we wanted to look cute while we sat in the living room. So we're at the mall buying an outfit. And then I get a message. And then all he put was Joel. Like, his name, Joel. So I was like, oh, hey. And then we just started talking. And that was December 28th. So that was 2009. Because that was before the December before we started dating. So ever since that day, we never, ever, ever stopped texting.
Yeah.
Like, every single day, he would send me a text message. And even when he would go out, like, with his family or something, he would text me, like, oh, hey, I'm going to be out with my family, so I can't be texting. But even at the first time, I remember I thought it was weird because I'm like, okay, like, you don't have to text me. Like, we're nothing, you know? But he let me know, so I guess that was really nice of him. But from that day, we never, ever stopped texting. And then, how did it happen? Like, after that, like, I honestly,
yeah,
I think we just kept texting, right?
We just kept on texting, yeah, every single day.
And then one day he told me, like, oh, I like you, or I don't remember what went first. I think he said, like, oh, I have a feeling we're gonna be together, or something.
Yeah, I would
like
tell her
that.
that. I would tell her that I had a feeling that we're gonna be together. Now, I didn't say forever then, but I did have a feeling we're gonna be together. Turns out I was right.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, should we tell them, like, how
Well, okay.
I asked you out, or?
Yeah, so he would tell me that, and he would be like, oh, I like you. And then that was so, it was all new to me. It was kind of weird to me. But I guess I started kind of feeling something for him too.
It's, I guess rewind.
During winter break, we had a homework packet for chemistry.
So
during winter break.
Because we started talking in December.
Yeah, we started talking during winter break.
2009. So we were talking in December 2009. Wow.
During that winter break, we both had the same homework packet, but we had different teachers.
Yes.
My teacher was like a bomb teacher, and she taught us everything we needed to know. His teacher was never there.
No, teacher got fired, I believe, and we were stuck with a bunch of subs for chemistry. So
he had no idea how to do anything.
Yeah.
So I remember I was like on it. I already knew how to do everything. So I gave him all of the answers. So that's how we first saw each other, because we were texting. Oh, this straight part has it at the bottom, I guess. We were texting, and then he needed the answers. So I think it was the first day when we got back from winter break. He was like, oh, meet me here, and then, you can give me the answers. I was so shy. I walked right past him, and I pretended like I didn't see him.
She knew that I was walking by, looking for her. She saw me pass her. She did not say anything. And then I
walked right past him.
I had to look back, and I was like, hey, I probably said her name. I was like, Jasmine, And then that's when she was like, huh?
Yeah.
Then she turned around, and then she's like, oh, yeah, here, I think she just said, here you go, and then she just walked away.
Exactly.
But we made eye contact.
Yeah, for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So we kept texting or whatever, and then that's when, around the end of January, he wasn't, like, making a move or anything, so I was like, hey, do you want to go to the park since we get out early? So we walked to the nearby park, and we're at the park, and he was pretty funny. He offered me fruit snacks. It was a pretty nice day. And then we were walking back, and I remember that's when he gave me, I guess, when we had our first hug at the corner on his way back to school.
Yeah.
And I remember I had some shoes that were killing me from the back. Like, it was terrible.
I think they were is it called blisters?
Yeah.
Why did they give her blisters on her back heel?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Because her shoes were pretty bad, and I think the socks were very low. So, I
was complaining the whole time, pretty much.
Yeah, so she was like walking with a limp almost,
Mm-hmm. So that was at the end of January, and then so obviously Valentine's Day was coming up. So by then I was kind of like, all right, so I met him, he's pretty cool, and I started kind of getting feelings for him. And then he told me, he was like, pass me license. Oh, you can't, huh? And then he was like, oh.
Go ahead, I can't.
He was like, my parents asked me if I'm going to get anything special for anyone special for Valentine's Day. But I told them no. He texted me that. So when I read that, I was a little, not heartbroken, but I was a little butthurt because I'm like, what do you mean? Like, we've been talking this whole time. I gave you the answers and you want to say I'm not special? So, but I didn't tell him anything. I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, why are you telling me that? That was for Valentine's Day. So I was kind of like, okay, whatever. If he doesn't like me, then I guess maybe it was pretty soon after that. He asked me out in a text message. And I was like, no, I don't do that. If you want to ask me out, you have to ask me out in person.
Yeah.
So
February 14, 2010, that's Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we saw each other because I think it was on a weekend. No. I believe it was on a weekend. So we didn't see each other. And then it was probably the next day or 2 days after that, I asked her out on a text and she was like, no, I mean, you gotta tell me in person. So then I had to wait to tell her in person. And I don't think I told you, because it was like, I think school was whatever, it started on a Monday and I still didn't tell her. I didn't ask her out, the first day we got back to school. It was
a Friday. Friday the 19th.
Yeah, it was Friday the 19th.
Because when he asked me out, I remember it was raining too. It was a rainy day. He asked me out. And then we didn't see each other because it was the weekend. And then it was a long weekend because it was like the President's Day weekend. So he asked me out, but we didn't even get to see each other for the whole weekend or anything. And I remember when he asked me, he was like, oh, so I've been thinking, do you want to be my girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
That's what you said. And then I kind of ignored you, no? Yeah, I ignored you the first time.
Yeah.
I ignored him the first time.
I had to repeat it again.
But after a while, like, we totally changed the subject because one of our teachers was walking by. So I used that as, like, an excuse. Kind of like, what? I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
So then later on, he was like, so, yes or what? And then I was like, are you sure?
Yeah, she was still asking me, like, are you sure you want to go with me?
Because
yes, I'm sure. I mean, I told her I had a feeling we were going to be together, so I knew I was sure. But I wasn't sure if she was sure. So
I guess I was just scared because I just had a feeling, I don't know, that my whole life was going to change. Like, it sounds silly because we were so young. Like, I was 15. But I don't know. I just had a feeling like even if we didn't stay together forever, I just had a feeling that everything was going to change.
Stick, because the castle has to, to stick together.
But it's not.
But we are sticking together. Yeah.
So I just had this feeling, and that's why I was like I was so hesitant to say yes. Then I guess I just said yes, and then that was that.
And that was that. So we've been together for almost 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Within a decade. I don't know what we might do for a 10-year anniversary. But we're trying to do something. So maybe, I don't know, we might travel. Whatever it is, I'll record it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
So this was a total fail. We're supposed to finish.
Yeah, it's a total fail. I don't know if it's going to stick.
It'll stand on its own for a while.
I think it will stand on its own. So
finish decorating.
I think we'll just finish decorating and then I'll show you guys what it's going to look like. Alright, so this is our product right here. Our final product. I like that. The JayyySquared. Click that subscribe button.
Toad.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Just in time. What a fail. Look at this.